To be or not to be? That is the question at the moment. Now, this may very well be my last video. I think I might be at the end of my road now. Don't see any future. Last night when the rain was coming into the tent and we're in the duvet, wet duvet, and I'm thinking about all the wonderful parts of my life and then how they ended sadly, and realizing that there's not one person I can think of to get in touch with who can help me at this time. Yeah, well, I was thinking that's enough, just don't wake up again, let it be, let's have an end to it. But then, inches away from my nose is this warm puppy making little sighs and grunts of contentment at being so close to me, indeed being allowed to share my pillow. Licking me, licking the tears out of my eyes, would you believe? And I heard a little voice say, don't give up, I've not to consciously put an end to it, I will just see what end comes. Well, the other night when I was in McDonald's having a shave, I brushed my teeth for the first time in 4 weeks. You see, living on the street, I haven't been able to keep up any personal hygiene. I have been worried about my remaining teeth. All year they've been giving me trouble. But it seems that not brushing them for a few weeks has been the end of my teeth. You see, while I was brushing them, some large lumps of decayed matter came out, shocking to me, because I hadn't actually taken the denture off for 4 weeks. Can't take it off at night because nowhere to put it, and it seems that decay has eaten through the roots of this tooth to the point where this tooth is now seriously threatened. It may be already too late. The level of pain, which blots out all other experience really, and it certainly makes me unlikely to attract much friendship since I'm not able to smile when I'm in so much pain. It suggests that maybe it still could be saved, that is the way the body works. It gives you signals, this is critical, do something about it right away. Now, if I could get it sorted, I might be able to save that tooth. And then we might be able to handle all the other things that are killing me. However, if it can't be saved, that would be sad, because these teeth coming out mean that I won't have anything to hold the denture steady. It would also mean waiting weeks for the denture to be repaired. Wait weeks living on the street like this. Even eating sandwiches has been very painful and very difficult all this time. It's tragic, I will have to go into a liquid diet. I don't know how to get nutritious liquid diet living on the street. It seems like it might be time to say, that's it, I am a goner. Stop struggling. But then again, as I say, this little dog says, no, I'll be happy for another day. But you see, take today, it was raining all day up until recently. There's nothing I can do with the dog. We're just shuffling around trying to keep dry, sitting in very uncomfortable positions. And that's no life. I can't even play with a dog in the rain. That's no life. All I've really got at this point in time is affection, love. I love, and I am loved. Can you see my little doggy? Yeah. Well, that's all I've got. So this might be a good point at which to put an end to it. The reasoning is, dog and I have had a wonderful time together. That's 2 years of love and affection I didn't expect to get. If I hadn't got the dog, I would have become so embittered by the rejection from human beings, especially the rejection from those who are paid to help me. That would have been terribly, terribly sad, and I might have done something drastic much earlier than now. But this love and affection has kept me going. But I'm now finding it is painful to know the rejection from the people around me. These are very nice people. Southville is a beautiful place. Had I arrived here in better shape, I could have created a lot of happiness here. But these mostly nice people, they look at a person in my position, extreme outcast, socially excluded, right out on the edge, living with a dog in a tiny leaking tent, wet bedding, no hygiene, no proper nutrition, no entertainment, no way to charge my batteries or get on the internet. And people may look at me, and then I'm in pain, so that when I'm speaking, I'm angry. That's not going to win friends, is it? The people just look at it and go, well, could be a nice guy, but he must have done something very wrong to end up in that position. I'm not getting involved. That's likely to remain the case. I made an appeal to George Ferguson, who owns this place, but possibly he asked others for information about who I am, and therefore has decided not to notice my appeal. Probably he's been told that I'm a mental patient, got serious mental health issues. Who wouldn't in my position? What he will not be told of is of my honest campaign since 1986 to liberate the truth about cannabis and all the other human rights that have been suppressed along with the freedom to use cannabis. If it's not happened yet, it's not likely to happen. So I am inclined to conclude my work is done. I have done the best I can. I've gone on for so long. I feel proud, noble. I truly did it for humanitarian motives. I'm not asking a psychiatrist for an opinion. I've always had a disagreement with psychiatry in its simplistic way of labeling people as one form or other of nutter. And if you've ever been in close conversation with a psychiatrist, it would leave you wondering, what is sanity? Are you sanity? Are you a healthy human being? I have one psychiatrist that was seeing me in Paisley during my period homeless, kicked out by my mother. That psychiatrist had to stop seeing me because when she was consulting me, she was obviously anorexic, skeleton, skin, but she had a breakdown that meant she could no longer practice psychiatry. Her mental health issue made it difficult to help others. Yeah, right. Well, so what I'm saying is, I'm giving up. I'm not going to struggle anymore. I've told my truth as much as I can, short of shouting in the street. And if I start shouting in the street, or continue as I have been doing in the last week, I am likely to be taken off the street and parted from my dog, and that means that I would end my life parted from my love and affection. That's what I don't want. I do not want to spend a time as an invalid in an institution. I'd rather just go out. I'm going to leave it to God to decide, but many years ago I was moved by the story of Galahad, who found the Holy Grail because he was the only knight that had true human compassion and could feel the suffering of the other man, the Fisher King, indeed, the man whose life had been destroyed by some sexual scandal. So, gosh, dog, back in the moment. Anyway, I remember when Galahad had a talk on the Holy Grail. He was with Jesus in the holy place, and he asked Jesus, "When will I die?" And Jesus said, "When you want to." I took that to heart at the time. I thought, yeah, mate, I'm the same. Right. So I'm out of here when I want out of here. Right. I'm inclined to think that's now. That's just being realistic. I am not likely to move from this position into a position of being warmly received by society at large as a hero. Whose reputation is all cleaned up. My very, very best work on video was all stolen by the police in Strathclyde, Glasgow, when I was set up on false charges and put into Barlinnie prison to be killed there, a fake suicide, as a paedophile. Right, see, this is the tactic that has been used to destroy my career. This allegation has reappeared in almost every community, well, in every community that I lived in except here. There is absolutely no reason to accuse me of such a thing. There is nothing in my life that would support such an allegation. This has been really horribly cruel, disgustingly so. I do feel for Rolf Harris, and I also feel for all the thousands of other celebrities who must be worried now about what could be made out of their past experience. And that's the ones that are actually guilty. Get it? Right, anyway, that's that. That's how my life has been destroyed. It has been terribly upsetting for me that all those people from whom I should have expected support, love, admiration, have withdrawn and allowed me to be bullied and robbed and kicked out. That is very upsetting, yes. I won't say that that bounced off easily. No, it's been very, very hard for me. However, I lived my life heroically. I believed I was working for God, I believe God was helping me. Even last night, I was still praying to God to get me out of this. But it was great fun. That's what happens when you go into adventure. That's what happens when you play in the intelligence arena. Nobody ever knows the truth. You say, I die. All my best work has been hidden away by the police in Glasgow, even though there was no reason to take these videos. They would not return them. The Procurator Fiscal in Glasgow, Deborah Demick, said she had authorised the release to me of my material, but the police would not give it back, saying they would only give me back my computer with the hard drive erased. They didn't even do that. I never saw my material again. And then in subsequent events, the remainder of my life's work has been taken from me. Right, so that's the way it is. Heroic tragedy. So be it. What a life. As I say, what hurts most is where are those that I loved? I poured out so much love in this life. I put love into the community selflessly. But then again, and I do remember this many times each day, Robin Williams was loved by millions. Robin Williams acted out the Fisher King as an actor. I've lived it as a human being. It's not a happy ending. So I'm going to stop struggling. If there is a miracle, there is a miracle. I won't reach for a miracle because you can't. How do I know who's capable of helping me? To be quite frank with you, after all I've been through, most people seem to live rather tiny lives, you know. Will I join the boxing club next year? Or, you know, will I get moved up to clerical level 3 if I sit this exam? You know, most people live very small lives as far as I'm concerned. I mean, the idea of spending your life drinking beer every night, that's appalling to me. You've really missed the boat. So it's like this. At the end of the day, the treasure is in here, and it's vanishing with me. That's a pity. But I'm ready for it. I don't think I should keep subjecting myself to a lot of pain just to keep the dog happy. I'm not able to keep the dog as happy as I would like to. I would like to have a little room with a door and a bed, electricity supply, the ability to clean myself and brush my teeth. And to sally forth from there, usually to go to the park, which is where I've done most of my work in Bristol, using marijuana in the park with the finest of the young people, with my dog as a living example of love and playfulness and happiness. That's what I've done. That's how I've affected the world. You see, you think about it. I and my brother set out to liberate cannabis. Well, you can't do that by putting yourself on the stage as a political figure and attempting to change the minds of large numbers of people through your eloquent oratory or performance. No, because the factors that oppose the liberation of cannabis are huge. There is an awful lot of money in crime. They don't want people getting high and stop being alcoholics. No, they don't want that. They don't want a cure for depression on the street. No. So anyone who emerges as a leader, say for example if Russell Brand was to start carrying the flag for cannabis, no doubt his personal life would be inspected closely, and who is so spotlessly clean that you can't find stains in their knickers? You get what I'm saying? Anyone can be brought down. As my own case proves, if you can't find real filth in a person's life, you can manufacture it, and you can leak it to the lowest level of intelligence, the ones that are most likely to react violently without restraint. So I realised early on that the way to do it is to network, to set example and inspire others to copy, so that more and more people are doing the right thing without following any notable human being as a leader. Done it. I like all the street art around. I like the skateboarding. I promoted these heavily from the year 2000 on. I thought for the younger generation, this is a much better approach to life. Street art is improving the environment. As you do it, it's making the world more cheerful for everyone. And skateboarding, yes, it keeps you in the present, healthy and fit. These are better activities for young people to get into than binge drinking. So I've done my work as much as I can. I've gone around with this dog. Even today, while I'm in misery and tremendous pain, and this has declined a little since I started talking. Even today, how many people have told me what a beautiful dog I have? I think everyone that's spoken to me has told me what a beautiful dog I have. That's like saying, I like your style, mate, because as an old man, I cannot run around loving everyone in a playful attitude and playing with people and enjoying the present, and thereby increasing the chances that these people will go on to enjoy the present tomorrow in a playful, loving fashion. Right? I cannot do that personally. That's what I did do until I was in my 50s. Then it began to look out of place. What's that old man doing in the park with all the teenagers? There must be something dodgy about him. No, I got a dog. Right. Which means that I'm one of the happiest old men visible in the community. Not many old people are as happy as I am, because there's dreadful loneliness and depression at the sheer facts of life, things stop working. Right? So I have done my job to the best of my ability. Believe it or not, the police had me kicked off of YouTube 3 times, and all my material that I had uploaded, gone. Why? Let's be pretty certain that they did not allow anybody else from that point on to acquire a following as a champion for cannabis. No. The internet has been mucked about with now, so that certain things will not show up on search engines. If you try to find a civil servant, civil servants are, I believe, told not to use Facebook. There's very few people working in the system on Facebook or YouTube, and if I make a video about a guy called Wayne Jones in Amelia Court, who is the man who has kicked me out to die in the street for the crime of using cannabis, well, I made a video Started off with him putting this bit of paper in my hand and running away before I could read it. Well, if you Google Wayne Jones, you are told this name will not show up on a search engine. He has requested that his name cannot be found by Google. Right, what's that about? Aye? Think about it. So there's us and them. There's the freedom seekers and there's the people in the system that go, do not inspect what we are doing. We are unaccountable. We are not transparent. We make the decisions. We destroy little blips like you, Mr. Smile. Yeah? Right. Well, I'm going to leave it at that. Because the cannabis that I've been getting in recent months has had no notable effect on me other than the placebo effect that, oh, I've got what I need. That's all. But I don't notice any physical or mental symptoms. And I don't know if anyone else is getting symptoms. I can remember times where I could go into a venue, set an example of smoking, get everybody smoking the ganj, and we were on a group high where we all felt this is more exciting than anything I can remember. There was a little bit of that yesterday in the Fun Day skateboard park in Bedminster. Yeah, I got a little bit of a chance to do that because you see, when other people are using marijuana and they see some guy using marijuana and acting this way and that way, they tend to think, oh, that's the effects of marijuana, I'm going to do that too. That's the reasoning that has guided my career in recent years. So it's difficult, isn't it, to stir up a revolution without being noticed as the one stirring it. So I've done my best. I might die in the tent up there or somewhere else. Not many places better than Southville. Certainly wouldn't like to have died in Stokes Croft. Disgusting. All my work, someone has undone it. This has been going on for years. For years, any scene that I got going would suddenly be thwarted. Sometimes by defamation of my character, sometimes by eliminating the genuine ganja from the supply route and just allowing the fake stuff. Well, that's the way it is. But all a man can do is his best and hope that somebody somewhere will pick up the can and start carrying it. And now, the end is near, and as I face the final curtain, I'm not too bitter, no. Not too bitter, but it's sad. Oh, Robin Williams was a nice guy. Millions of people loved him. And the truth is, millions have loved me without getting my name, because I keep changing my appearance and my style. Even the police have had a hard job following me, and they've got undercovers everywhere. It's not so much undercovers as in Glastonbury, for example, the police know he's a junkie and he sells heroin. Well, you can pick him up down the lane, he's got half a gram on him and cut up into 10 deals, and they can get information. They can say, right, Pete, we'll let you off with this if you tell us what's he all about and who's his friends and why is he here and what's he doing. And by the way, he's a paedophile. See? That's how they've been doing it. It's dirty. And then when I say police, I don't mean every single police officer that wears a uniform, because my dad was a very straight, honest copper, and he brought up his kids. He says, "You're not joining the police," but he brought us up to follow the law and to use all the techniques that he used in his job, right? The cruelest thing was that my wife wasn't faithful, and I never did get the reward of being a father. Gonna leave it at that. Ta-ra. Bye. I'm great. I'm taking that to the grave.